Hey there, Paisanos. Welcome to the Super Mario Bros. Super Panel.
Are you going to keep up that energy this whole time?
No.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm Max.
I'm Andrew.
I'm Natalie.
I'm Thomas.
Good. And together we are the foundation for the eradication of Gen 5 Pokemon because those little fuckers need to be stopped. You can follow us on our various social medias through that QR code. And this panel is, you can go back now,
Woo.
Is the Super Mario Bros. Super Show panel, where we talk about Pokemon Live.
We talk about me. It's me, Mario.
Oh, God. He's going to keep going.
I mean, you all know Mario, because of course you do. That's why you're here. You're here to see me. He's not just a character. He's an icon. Like, more children know who Mario is than they know who Ronald McDonald is, or even Mickey Mouse. So he's important. But how did you originally meet Mario? If you're a child, you may have met him in a good movie. If you're a normal person, you probably met him through a game or something. And if you're older than me, you met him under more tragic circumstances.
Hey.
Or if your doctor
No,
was
he's
based,
wrong.
you met him at the doctor's
That movie's
office.
good.
Yeah. Why are we letting the guy with the wrong opinions introduce the panel?
Exactly. But regardless of how you met Mario, you know he's a good time. But was he always a good time? That's what we're going to find out here. We're going to go through Mario as he was depicted in media. Not the games, but in other medias, and kind of talk about and find what the worst Mario was.
I have to hold it like a video game controller for it to make sense. So the first instance of Mario in media that we're going to discuss is the first instance of Mario in media, which is, of course, the Saturday Supercade, a cartoon that aired from 1983 to 1984. That's what you thought? That's what you found out? I mean, I feel like you did homework to come into this panel. Jesus Christ. So there's a problem with the Super Arcade, though, which is, as you know, Mario's just kind of there. I mean, this thing more prominently features Q*bert, Frogger, and fucking Space Ace. Who even knows who Space Ace is? Why does he get his own show? Mario is DK's +1 to this whole thing. Like, his introduction is him looking at Donkey Kong and going, I bet I can last as long as you. And DK turning to the screen and shaking his head in disgust. And, like, right? That's gross. It's crude. It's rude. It's unacceptable. This is not a show for children. We need to fucking move on. So we're going to give it a pasta rating. Yes. Pauline? Oh. Yeah, I don't know who that is. See, I was doing research on Mario media, which meant if he wasn't on the screen, I wasn't watching. Okay, moving on. Oh, man, don't we love a good Big Brother reference with the frog? Anyway, I'm going to give... so the pasta rating for Saturday's Supercade is a chicken noodle soup. There is technically pasta involved in this, but it is not the point of the show. The second instance of Mario in media is something you might be more familiar with. In 1986, Mario decided to jump straight from being a bit character in a Saturday morning cartoon for dummies to a full-fledged movie. Woo.
Yeah.
Now, some of you seem to be confused. You have your hand up like you're going to correct me, and that's fair, because I said this came out in 1986, and as we all know, May 28th wasn't a date in 1986. It didn't happen. We are not talking about the live-action movie yet. I'm so sorry. We are talking about the secret first Mario movie, Mario and the Castle of Cagliostro. Was that your point of contention? You had a... I don't know. So it's actually the Great Mission to Rescue Princess Peach. But don't let this English subtitled screen fool you. This was never released in English. If you want to watch it in English, though, you can follow this QR code, and it will take you to the video on YouTube. And the video is, and I'm not kidding, a fan dub.
Hell yeah.
It's like we're back in the 90s. We have a fan dub of the Super Mario Brothers movie. And like all fan works, nope, it's too late, Chris. You don't get to watch it anymore. Like all fan works, it's bad. I'm honestly shocked Nintendo hasn't pulled it from the internet yet. Imagine being so unimportant, Nintendo doesn't file a DMCA takedown against you. Like, oof. So because it's so irrelevant, we're not going to spend a lot of time on it. But there are a few things I want to talk about. First of all, apparently the Mushroom Kingdom exists in the TV. Like, the movie opens with Luigi offering to make Mario tea, but Mario's, like, too busy just staring at the screen because he's in a gamer state, and Luigi just goes to bed. And then, oh yeah, sorry, there's Luigi offering the tea. See, he's a good brother. And just in the middle of the game, Mario's gifted a girlfriend and several pet turtles, which, honestly, pretty cool. The problem is, once he gets real close, Bowser decides to just jump out and steal his girlfriend back. I know, right? And here's the thing, like, couldn't he just turn off the TV? Like, if something is coming out of the TV to attack you, you could just turn it off to be safe, right? It's not like it's going to crawl. Oh, no, wait. Okay. She's not going to find us. Ah, she found us. Next slide. Second, Luigi tries to RFK Jr. their dog. Speaking of the dog, like, it turns out the dog is actually Prince Toadstool. And as soon as the dog turns into Prince Toadstool, Princess Peach goes from Mario, I love you, to new phone, who dis? Like, girl, tell him you've had another romantic interest the whole time instead of spending a month punting on a date just to ghost him for a week and then say, hey, I thought we were just going to be friends. Katie, you didn't have to do that. We were already friends. You didn't have to make me rescue a prince. I don't know. Also, Luigi does drugs.
All right. Max, I think you're thoroughly misrepresenting the movie.
No, I think I represented my relationship with Katie very well.
Not with your girlfriend, with the important thing, Mario movie. You see, this movie is incredibly important and influential. I mean, look how accurate all these designs are to their modern day incarnations. Bowser looks like Bowser. Peach looks like Peach. The only discrepancy is that Luigi is not wearing green. But to be fair, blue and yellow does make green. So, I think with a little bit of imagination, you can do it. And fun fact, did you know this movie is where the whole like Mario 64 Bowser boss fight came from? It's true, 100% true. I mean, I guess there's another discrepancy where Mario and Luigi, they work in a grocery store instead of having a plumbing business. But really, the only difference is that they work with food before it's eaten instead of after. And this movie inspired every single costume in Mario Odyssey, all right? That's true. That's 100% true.
Are we canceling Mario?
That's next panel, right? But this movie was incredibly important for the trends in the Mario franchise. For example, Peach is called Peach and not Princess Toadstool. That was 100% in the actual text and not the fan dub we watched. As mentioned, Luigi is a drug lord, and Mario's a fucking sellout. And the final fact, did you know this movie inspired the entirety of Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill Volume 1? Like, it's true. It's super, super true.
The thing is, he's not really joking. Before this movie came out, where are you getting your Mario Brothers lore? The Prima Strategy Guide? Like, that makes this movie functionally a foundational text for the franchise. Forget that. This is Mario's lost arc. That's why we didn't watch it in Japanese. We found out that'll melt your face. That's what happened to our fifth panelist. I know. So with that, we have decided the pasta rating for the Super Mario Bros. The Great Princess Toadstool. I don't remember what it's called. The Castle of Cagliostro. We are giving it a mushroom ravioli because it's absolutely stuffed with lore and there are too many mushrooms.
All right, then. The next show we have is, of course, the one you guys know of, the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. I mean, yeah, it was great. It was very enjoyable, and it split its time between a fun, quirky cartoon and a live action segment in Brooklyn. And they did random guest stars every week.
Do you think it was filmed in Brooklyn or just like on a soundstage in LA?
I don't know. I
Where
don't think
they-
they could
where
find
they-
people that greasy
How
outside
dare
of
you
Brooklyn.
question it? Of course it was filmed
I
in
think it was
Brooklyn.
filmed where they did the moon landing.
And then they also had a pizza phone, because that was important. Very, very important plot. All right. And did you know that they ended every episode by checking out these sweet scenes from the Legend of Zelda show? Every block had an ad reel for Legend of Zelda. Every episode. It was great. This is how they ended the episode. And then with the ending credits, they taught us how to do the Mario. I think it's very important.
Yeah, we should all do the Mario
We're
together.
going to do the Mario.
Come on, everybody, stand up. We're gonna do the Mario.
Yeah. You lead us, Max.
Okay, so you have to swing your arms from side to side. Come on, it's time to go do the Mario. Take one step and then again. I don't know the song all together now.
There we go. You're all Mario now.
I like that there is no video evidence of us getting like 50 people to do the Mario.
It's great.
You lucked out.
I wanted blackmail. God damn it. I just have video evidence of me doing it. This sucks. That's not how blackmail works.
So now we have to start talking about the episodes in the Super Show. And the first one I want to talk about is called Do You, Princess Toadstool, Take This Koopa? And it starts out with Mario and Luigi going on a fishing trip using a worm pizza as bait. They also named...
I like that Luigi looks upset with the idea of the worm pizza. Like Mario's trying to sell it to him so hard.
I think Luigi looks disappointed in every live action scene.
It's true. So they also name drop their cousins, who are called Luigi Bob and Mario Joe, who are apparently, I guess they're hillbillies. So putting the name Bob and Joe after your name makes you a hillbilly.
Actually, I have a question about that. Yeah. So is his name Luigi Bob Mario and Mario Joe Mario? Or is it just Luigi Bob and Mario Joe?
I think.
And if so, are they really related because they have different last names?
I think their last name is Mario.
Okay.
Are they their own grandparents?
Very possibly.
I'm not sure. But what I am sure about is that when Luigi Bob and Mario Joe show up, they decide to raid the fridge. And I guess they wanted to get some country-style Italian food. But, like, what even would that be? Like, I Googled this thinking, like, wait, what is that? And, you know, this blog claims that it must possess a comforting heartiness, use simple ingredients, and be easy to recreate. And, like, I don't know what they're thinking here. Like, if you're going to be pretentious, just call it easy rigatoni with Italian sausage and peas. So anyway, the animated story features a totally original plot this time, and Koopa is putting Peach in a situation where she has to agree to marry him in order to free her people from being turned into rocks, and also to save Mario and Luigi by being squashed. She agrees as long as Koopa holds up his end of the deal. The wedding preparations, you know, as they're starting to plan the wedding, they don't go super smoothly because Koopa has a bit of trouble with the guest list. Like, the only person he can think to invite is his mom. And he thinks the only reason he's inviting her is because he thinks she will like the cake. It's sad, but it's not unexpected. So, of course, Koopa double-crosses Peach, and he turns Toad and the others back into rocks. It's up to Mario and Luigi to stop the wedding by sneaking into the castle using the bug soup trick. I don't know. They say it like it's a totally normal thing. And after Koopa is done admiring himself in the mirror, Mario and Luigi, they become super, and then they stop the wedding. And then the guest of the week this time, when we get back to the live action segment, starts cuddling with this animal that's just hanging out at the Mario Bros. Plumbing business for some reason, which I find really confusing. Like, in a previous episode, this character was some kind of secret agent. But like honestly, when I look closer at that, I think it's just my two favorite animals. It's Rattata and Flatfuck. Also, you should check out these scenes from the Legend of Zelda cartoon.
All right. The episode I watched was very exciting. It started out with Mario getting a computer date. And you might think that means like dating profile online. No, Mario actually gets a date with a computer woman. See, they had dating computer women back in '89. So, yeah, this is Mario's fault. He invented waifus. Anyways, so the actual episode starts off with like Plumber's Log 1024. So you're thinking like, oh, this is going to be like a Star Trek episode. It's going to be plumbers in space, right? No, it immediately goes into Mad Max crossover fanfiction. So the episode starts with Mario and Luigi driving to go help the Toad rebels against Bowser and his tyranny. And they get pulled over by, and I quote, Bowser's state trooper. If you know the state troopers are in Bowser's pocket, don't pull over. But they did because Toad was speeding. And Bowser gets really into punk rock for the entire episode. So
Wait. So he runs the police.
Yeah.
And he's a punk.
Yes, he's playing both sides.
Bowser, you truly do not understand the ethos of punk. Fucking ACAB.
All right. Speaking of ACAB, we turn back to some nice police brutality. I mean, he even shoots shots before they pull over, so classic. See, cops always sucked. And then, while they're being detained, Toad just decides to be absolutely racist to the bottom and just push him to the edge of suicide.
Yeah.
What?
Toad is a jerk.
Do you have anything to say to defend yourself, Toad?
He's dead because of you.
I don't see race.
All right. Anyways, so Mario and Luigi get away, but because of course, and they join up with the Toad rebels. So Bowser decides to go the very classic way to deal with these rebels, and that is, of course, artillery with the Thunderbirdo. But of course, Toad, during all of this, has found a magic warp star, and he uses it to turn himself into the Toad Warrior. Because he wants to look cool by riding a motorcycle. Not to defeat Bowser. He could wish Bowser away. He could defeat the Axis powers by himself. But no, he becomes the Toad Warrior. I mean, his priorities are set, so good for him, but not great. Luigi then gets really into the whole World War II aesthetics and starts just bombing Bowser's troops. He even puts stickers on the side of his copter to count how many kills he has. And then it goes down to an Evel Knievel jump where Toad outjumps Bowser to save the day. But it turns out all they actually saved was just one truckload of pasta sauce, and then Mario drinks it all. So there was no benefit to this entire episode. There was no point.
Is it just me or does that look like ketchup?
All right, and then we cut back to the live-action Brooklyn plot, and we get to see the end where she comes to the obvious conclusion about Brooklyn, and she has to go. So she gives him her heart to remember him by, but she's a robot. She doesn't have a heart, so she obviously murdered someone and just gave that to Mario. I think Mario should be a little concerned. Anyways, have you checked out these scenes from the latest Legend of Zelda show?
All right, so the episode I watched starts off with the live action segment where Mario receives a letter from an old friend named Rochelle, where she's like, I've come back for you to fulfill your promise. And Mario's like, oh, I kind of promised to marry her. Whoops, that's awkward. Unfortunately, I don't care, as I'm so distracted by that phone. I love the pizza phone. I mean, move over, banana phone and shoe phone. It's all about the pizza phone. That's such a good gadget. The actual episode, part of the episode, is called Raiders of the Lost Mushroom, where the plumber's log is 1938. And you may think this is a cool reference to Raiders of the Lost Ark. But if it's a reference, Raiders of the Lost Ark takes place in 1936, not 1938. At least get the reference right. So during some lengthy exposition, Mario explains that he's out for the lost mushroom, an artifact of magical power. And this doesn't go well for the group, as their hot air balloon is shot down immediately and they land in quicksand. Thankfully, they're rescued by fearless adventurer Indiana Joe, who agrees to travel with them. And I'm not kidding. This is his design. He doesn't have a face. Like, why? Artistic artistic intent, maybe?
I mean, they gave him a
Budget?
belly button.
That's a very important part of their character design they could not skip out on.
Also 4 fingers.
Yeah, but that's just normal.
That's not the only interesting design. It's they're up against Colonel Von Koopa. And you may think, oh, this is a pretty good design. Bowser's discovered what outdoor casual is. It gets a lot worse. Mario and the gang find the Temple of Koopa where the lost mushroom is. Mario wants to steal the statue and scram. Indiana Joe can't continue because, he's afraid of Koopas. That's his one weakness, Koopas. But the gang go on without him. I mean, look at that. They're traversing the temple, and eventually they find the lost mushroom, which is just as culturally insensitive as you think it is.
It also has, just like Indiana Joe, 4 fingers.
Wow.
Mario, Luigi, and Peach have 5, though. I counted.
You counted?
Yeah. This became important to the plot of the panel.
Calm down. Anyways, the rest of the episode happens. They get captured by Colonel Von Koopa, fight lions, and they go back to recruit Indiana Joe, who's quit his business and opened a babysitting one. And they convince Indiana Joe to conquer his Koopaphobia. He does so, saying anything's better than watching these kids. And then they just kind of scram, leaving all the children Indiana Joe is babysitting. I'm pretty sure that's a crime.
Hello, CPS.
So they confront Colonel Von Koopa and whip him with Mario's plumber snake. First of all, ouch. Second of all, you're right, absolutely disgusting. Do you know where plumber snakes go? So after giving Colonel Von Koopa every type of hepatitis, they celebrate by giving Indiana Joe's babysitting business a Viking burial.
Wait, do they also Viking burial the kids?
The kids aren't seen again. They must have. But if they were still in the house, that's bad. Because Mario sneaks in the house when no one is looking, gets the lost mushroom, and wishes the house to be filled with pasta because he's Italian. And that's the episode. So, solving world hunger, yes. Property damage, also yes. And also something. There's a B plot where Rochelle doesn't want to marry Mario. She just wants him to sell her a bathtub. So, overall, 10 out of 10 episodes. But wait, check out these scenes from The Legend of Zelda.
So I watched The Koopas Are Coming. This episode opens with Mario asking for advice from an old Asian man who lives behind a glass pane in their plumbing business. This is not explained, and I'm concerned Mario and Luigi are human traffickers. And I work for an airport, so I know how to look out for the warning signs, and this would be an educational video. They call him Obi-Wan Cannoli and do absolutely nothing with it. All Mario does is ask him for, who he should commit violence against. Mario's like, hey, should I be like the British and beat up someone smaller than me? And Mario, have you seen how big you are? Good luck. And then, presumably, the feds are onto him, so Mario tries to escape, but just sustains a serious brain injury instead. And basically Persona 3's his way into the episode. So he wakes up to find himself in front of General Washing Toad himself. Yo! Trying to maintain historical accuracy, they keep the scene where a British commander, played impeccably by the monarch himself, King Koopa, casually walks into the general's tent and just turns everyone into ice cubes with his freeze ray. Like it happened. Someone's singing it, thank you. Fortunately, Mario realizes that if he stands on a wooden stove, it will melt the ice from the freeze gun because while they can't move when they're frozen, they can jump, which last I checked is a type of movement, but don't ask questions. I'm going to keep asking questions. He is standing on the wooden stove, but he is melting from the top down. That is not how heat works. I am so confused. Anyway, so once everyone's defrosted, they decide they need someone to Paul Revere their way through and warn everyone that the Koopas are coming, and Luigi is nominated. But Luigi is also afraid of horses, which is fair. My stepmom, she has horses, and she got thrown off of one and broke a few bones, which was pretty rough, and now she's really afraid to ride her bike. She'll still ride horses, but she is afraid of bikes now. I don't fucking get it. Luigi, get over it. Just get bullied into doing the Paul Revere thing. So he does the Paul Revere thing. Goes around, the Koopa are coming, turns into Mario for a brief moment, and then gets attacked by Jeff Bezos.
Oh, no.
And, like, kind of sucks that he exists in this universe, but at least Luigi also hates him. So that's pretty cool. We're halfway through the episode. We find out that General Washington is a fraud and stole the idea of crossing the Delaware River from Mario. And they only succeed at crossing the river because Toad threw a coin over the river to motivate the troops, because Washington isn't paying them. Honestly, at this point, I'm becoming more pro Bowser, which, like, on that note, Peach, you're a princess. You exist in a monarchy. Why are you working to overthrow the monarchy with the rebels? You're going against your class interests. I just want to be clear about this. Anyway,
It's okay.
Washington does take out Bowser and then teabags on him to establish dominance. He then says, divided we stand, together we fall, which is not how the statement goes, indicating that either one, they didn't do a good job making this episode, which they would never do. Luigi always turns into Fire Flower Mario midway through a horse ride. Or two, this is like some Glenn Beck revisionism. And Washington is just a fucking fascist. I don't know. Anyway, then we get to talk about the scenes from The Legend of Zelda. And I noticed something about the three of you.
Yeah?
Which is that none of you covered the episode of The Legend of Zelda that followed the Mario episode you watched.
No.
Because I did that.
What?
You did?
Ganondorf's
Why?
scary.
Why would you do that to yourself?
I'm not dressed as Link. I'm dressed as
They
Mario.
told me to watch it. It seemed like part of the show, given how much time is dedicated to advertising The Legend of Zelda. And, you know, it checks out that they're the same show because, and I'm not kidding here, The Legend of Zelda episodes open with the Mario Bros. Super Show opening. I did not need to inspect element this. That is just what it does. So, but, you know, I think anything that starts with the Super Show opening, you should give a chance to. So I did keep watching, and I regret it. So the opening theme of Zelda, it's an exposition where they talk about how they have to protect the two pieces of the Triforce. And wait, Natalie, you have a degree in math, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I do.
So Triforce, that's two.
No. Have you ever heard of like a triangle that has three sides? How about a tricycle that has
in a
three
harem?
wheels?
Yeah, or you know, like in a harem anime, you have the three. Yeah.
The three people in the love triangle. There aren't
Okay,
just two.
so they're forgetting an entire piece of the Triforce.
Yes.
Weird. That's not the worst part about this, though. I would like to note, Link does end the opening by saying, "Well, excuse me, princess." So it's going to be good. Episode starts with Link looking at a poster of Zelda that is on his wall.
Wait, Max. To play devil's advocate here, maybe he just has the Zelda poster just to like remind him who he's supposed to protect. You know,
A
what
do
she
it for
looks
her
like.
situation?
Yeah.
It would say do it for her if it were that. I don't trust this. Further supporting evidence. He does spend some time complaining about how boring Hyrule is, and then has to remind himself why he's there, which switches to a gratuitous scene of Zelda in a onesie, where Link then wolf whistles her from his tower and says, "You look great, especially from this angle." Link, you're canceled. I'm not watching the episode. I'm good. So, we have to give it a pasta rating, though. I'm feeling a lasagna, because there are a lot of layers to this show. There's the banger opening, the weird live-action scene, the actual episode, another weird live-action scene, an ad for The Legend of Zelda, and then the closing theme. I don't remember who does the next one. Okay, good.
This is the next one. The next one is a piece of Mario media I'm sure all of you are very aware of. That's right. It's Super Mario's Fire Brigade. This is just some obscure 10-minute PSA video that was released in Japan as educational material, only distributed to schools. And I was really excited when we were going to watch it because I literally will watch random obscure Japanese music videos and short films just so that I can say I've seen 600 anime.
The My Anime List completionist route.
Yeah. Just so that when people see my anime list, they can be like, "Oh, this person has seen a lot of anime." Little do they know I'm cheating. But we decided to watch these raw. Because not even the most hardcore Mario fans care enough about this to subtitle it. And, keeping up with the theme of Mario and Luigi doing anything but plumbing, the bros are changing a tire when they notice these two...
Wait, are you saying plumbers can't change tires on their off time?
I'm not a plumber.
They lead. Plumbers can lead interesting lives outside of plumbing. Just like Mario and Luigi, who rescue a princess, a.k.a. you, on a regular basis.
Look, you think I'm a princess. You think I'm going to be grateful?
Do you think getting rescued is getting kidnapped part of your job description? Do you put that on your resume?
Yeah, that's one of the my skills. When I list my skills on my resume, getting kidnapped. I get hired for so many jobs. You should do it too. And anyways, they notice these two good-for-nothing kids who are playing with fireworks very irresponsibly. And then they decide to give these kids a lecture, revealing that they're actually off-duty firefighters. So
they weren't plumbers.
they weren't even plumbers. They were firefighters.
Okay. Firefighters aren't allowed to change tires. It's not in the union contract.
I wouldn't know.
So the upsetting thing about this, though, is at no point is Smokey the Bear referenced. How do you have a fire safety PSA without Smokey the Bear? I can't learn anything about fire prevention unless it's from the only creature that believes in me. Look, there I am, meeting my hero. You can do that. Thank you. And why would we trust Mario about fire prevention? What color is Mario? Red, just like fire. What color is Luigi? Green, just like fire after you add copper sulfide to it. Coincidence? I think not.
So we had to come up with a pasta rating for this PSA as well. And the pasta rating I came up with was raw ziti because... there's not really much to say about it, and I think it needs some water. I also think I should mention the other PSA that was distributed to schools in Japan, which is actually lost media. This is...
Sorry, we're just really excited about Bowser trying to fucking get 20 points. He wants those 20 points, guys.
He wants the little kid.
He's trying to get 20 points. Yeah. A good old vehicular manslaughter, 20 points. Same thing. Yeah. Skee ball rules.
Well, this is the traffic safety PSA, and all of everything you can find on it looks like this or this. So it just I really, there's only 1 minute of it available, and it was 1 minute of my time lost.
This looks like a screen grab from a really bad Yu Yu Hakusho adaptation.
I don't remember what's next.
It's Andrew.
All right.
We
Next,
practiced.
I'm going to talk about another one, which is King Koopa's Cool Cartoons.
Fortunately, 4Ks.
Also lost media because there's not really available. But despite being called a cartoon, it was fully live action. It came out in 88, 89, and 90, and there's only a few minutes, but you can see it looked delightful.
Wait. Andrew.
Yeah?
Why does King Koopa have a picture of Peach and Luigi?
I mean, Peach, probably the same reason Link has a picture of Zelda, but I'm really not sure why Luigi's on there. Maybe Bowser's very interested in kidnapping Luigi, too.
This is a classic triangle.
But yeah, so if you told me
And
that this was
I'm
like
into it.
Mario and Luigi meets the Martians, I would have believed you. So this is about all that's available of it. So I'm going to give it a pasta rating of cannoli because it might look like something outside, but there's just nothing there.
I like that clap. There's more. We're only on the 6th one. Do you even know what the 6th one is? Maybe.
Wait. How many slides are we?
Oh,
in?
we're on slide 91 of 174. So, The Adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3.
Woohoo!
A show we are all collectively aware of because Target sold DVD box sets of it in 2005 for $20. Now, this came out in, this replaced the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, so it came out in 1990 instead of 89. And instead of one episode sandwiched between 2 live action skits and a Legend of Zelda ad, it's just 2 self-contained 11-minute cartoons. Also, instead of just trying to do parodies of 1980s movies, they've decided to come up with their own interesting new plots, some of which we'll learn about now.
You guys know you can hold this normally, right?
I like holding it like a controller.
Yeah,
It feels more fun.
Whatever.
Like I'm gaming.
I'm going to talk
It's a Mario panel. It's about gaming.
recycling. I'm going to talk about
Better have the
recycled
spring cleaning
Koopa.
episode of Rocco here.
Are you done? This episode, it does a really good job of symbolizing what this show is as a whole, and that's garbage. So it starts with King Koopa. This show sucks. It starts with King Koopa ordering his kids to clean out all of his trash. And I didn't know Bowser was a hoarder, but this makes perfect sense. His kids, having the problem-solving capability of the average Mario Bros. 3 fan, decide to dump the garbage down the nearest pipe and see what happens.
Where'd you get that photo?
Don't worry about it. The trash lands in the Mushroom Kingdom where Mario, Luigi, Princess Toadstool, and Toad steal a magic wand and send the trash back at King Koopa. However, the Koopa kids didn't learn their lesson as they pour trash down another pipe, this time leading to Brooklyn. At this point, you'd assume Captain Planet would show up and save the day, but we're not so lucky, are we?
He's a hero.
Things go from bad to worse as Mario and Luigi discover that this trash turns Brooklyn citizens into Koopa zombies, much like how fans of this show are mindless zombies with no free thought.
How'd you get another one?
I'm doing my section. In desperation, Mario and Luigi find the mayor, who is unfortunately already infected. He says, and I quote, "No one will re-elect me like this. Not even in New York." What the fuck?
I think, and given the current Eric Adams situation.
Yeah, and then he turns into a Koopa and walks away.
Do you think Turkey's buying him a flight, or?
I think Turkey's turning him into a Koopa. At this point, they have a little montage where they sing a song called Stank City, USA. And we all know Stank City, USA isn't New York. In fact, I'd say it's where the most Mario Bros. 3 fans are at any given moment.
What the?
King Koopa realizes that he has the chance to take over, as he calls, the human kingdom. And so he creates a crud cannon to take over Manhattan, Queens, and the Bronx. So not the world, just New York, I guess. And that's when Mario and Luigi create a massive vacuum cleaner, which they use to clean up the trash, cure the citizens, and chase Bowser out. And, whatever, it predicted Luigi's Mansion. The thing I want to focus on is that the episode ends with the Statue of Liberty saying, "Those Mario brothers sure are super." And this is the Adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3. Was it good? No, it was garbage. What a fucking awful cartoon.
I still want to know how you got those photos. So I watched episode 2, Reptiles in the Rose Garden, because I can only watch episodes that have to do with American government. And this one opens with Cutie Pie's birthday, and she's kind of being a brat about the whole thing. Bowser gave her some great gifts, everything a girl could ask for: a new car, a dog, an 8x7-foot Craftsman storage shed. But she wants more. She wants something. She wants Bowser to really show her love. She wants him to give her something that money can't buy. That's right. She wants America. Wait.
Oh.
Sorry, something that you can buy but don't have to commit crimes to. Oh. Okay. So it's a 4-step plan to take America. Step 1, attack Mario and crew. I don't really know why you do that, because, like, Princess Peach, again, monarchist? But, whatever. Step 2, just roll your gunship up to the White House. Before 9/11, you could do anything you wanted with an airplane. Step 3, wait until the president's on a phone call. Step 4, steal the White House. Really easy. Now, I know a lot of you probably took high school civics and are aware there's an order of succession. If the president is indisposed, it would go to the vice president, then the Speaker of the House, and then your city councilor. But apparently, that's a lie. It becomes a race to whoever can give a speech at the Rose Garden first. And Cutie Pie does that, and therefore she becomes our president. And she promises a crueler America, which... already has an unfortunately high chance of happening. But, and honestly, her platform makes about as much sense as his. She's going to take our national gold supply and convert it into charm bracelets. She's going to steal all the children's toys, but the adults get to keep their toys because, we're voting, so she's got to keep us happy. And she's going to force all the pretty boys to play Bachelorette with her. Bowser's really proud of her, though, an emotion I've never inspired in my father. While all of this happens, the president remains on the phone. He's there. So Princess Peach decides that they should, break out of wherever they're being held. So she convinces that all of Bowser's goons that they've been talking smack about each other, so they just fight, and everyone just leaves, proving that you can gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss your way out of any situation. While this happens, Bowser just drops the White House in the ocean. Yeah, that'll deal with it, I guess. Anyway, Barbara Bush informs us that the president cannot swim. Something he cannot tell us because he is still on the phone. So, It's the red phone. Yeah, this is a serious call. He's, I don't know, gonna attack Kuwait. It's Kuwait. Yeah. Yeah. The red phone. He's discussing the Iraq War of 1991 because, it's not a Bush unless they attack Iraq, right? That's the rule. Just like you can't have a Winter Olympics without Russia invading Ukraine. It just keeps fucking happening. No, it's happened 3 times now. So anyway, Mario just jumps in his frog suit. That's how he's going to save the president. During this time, he does sustain damage in the frog suit, but keeps the suit, proving that this is not a game-accurate representation, which is really upsetting. I hope that, maybe in 2024, we'll finally do a video game series justice in media.
What a good movie.
I hope in 2025 we'll get it right. Anyway, Mario just shows up and tries to flash Barbara Bush, but it's a kid's show, so he can't really do it. She still looks pretty fucking traumatized. Just tells him to like go to his room, and he's just like, I'll just go plumb the White House because before January 6th you could do anything in the White House. And while he's doing this, of course, the president is still on the phone. I don't really know what Mario's plan was, but it worked because, fuck physics. Rules are made to be broken. And then once they get out, he just needs to get on the gunship, and he has a great idea to invade the gunship, and that is, of course, racism. They just show up dressed as Koopas, like, this'll work. The first Koopa to see them goes, wow, Mario gained some weight lately. Which, honestly, deserved. It doesn't really matter. They're just able to navigate the gunship anyway. Mario takes control of the ship, returns the White House to America, threatens to kill Cootie Pie, and then returns her home where Bowser is disappointed in her and makes her clean her room. The president remains on the phone.
So the next episode we have to talk about is the episode Oh Brother, which starts with Peach nagging Mario and Luigi to take their frog suit with them when it's raining outside.
You think they would have learned it's good in the water.
You would think.
Yeah.
But the episode doesn't wrap up until they actually wear the frog suit. So, why is it raining? Well, mad genius Kooky Von Koopa has created a power shower, which, honestly, I think he stole this idea out of a Dr. Seuss book.
I think we're at a con, though. We kind of need it.
We do. We could use a power shower, for sure. So what their plan is with the power shower is to steal all of the gold coins out of the pipe world. And, somehow it's the opposite of hydraulic mining because they're taking the water out of the pipes instead, or I knew how this goes. The water is going into the pipes instead of out of them. And, it's just as harmful to the environment because Peach told me. She said that the Mushroom Kingdom was going to float away. So when Mario and Luigi are having a fight, Mario gets coop-napped because he didn't have his frog suit. And he gets mind-controlled by the Koopas.
Wait, so does that mean, you can only wear two hats at once?
Yeah.
So, the frog suit would have been the second hat over his red hat, so that wouldn't have fit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. So they make him say some really nasty stuff, notably that he hates pasta.
Ooh,
Fighting words.
If Mario doesn't love pasta, who even is he? Well, not a good brother, because, after this, he starts trying to murder Luigi. But, how do they actually end up thwarting Cookie's mind control helmet? Well, they try a few things. Or they don't try these things. Being smart and removing the helmet? No. A heartfelt story about how you grew up together and love each other? No. Pulling down his hat and pulling on his mustache like you do when you're mad at him? What a banger.
All right, my episode, I have no idea what it was named, but Bowser decides to invade the real world again. But this time he's going to take the entire world, and his plan is to throw one child each continent. Wow, that's an inspired plan. And he really hates Morton in this canon because he names him Big Mouth and he throws him into Antarctica. So the kid just spends time making snowmen.
I mean, he gets to hang out with penguins. That's pretty cool.
So the kids have some very inspired plans that are absolutely terrible. So the first one is just to tag the Great Wall of China. The second one is to take all the animals in Africa and turn them into stuffed animals, which I think is arguably less bad than poaching. The third one, actually menacing. Turn all the people in Australia into kangaroos, because there aren't enough of them already. But then he takes one random dude and turns him into a giant shrimp so they can put him on the Barbie. And when I tell this to a real Australian, he gets upset and tells me they're not shrimp, they're prawns. So props to him for pissing off an actual Australian. Wendy just redid all the art in Europe to feature herself. So, I don't know, she improved the art. his plan was just to go on TV and take it hostage until people pay him money. So just basically what every television news channel does. He's just Fox News. And then the South American plan was just to put up a parking lot. They're already doing that. He's just helping them. And then Mario shows up and arguably makes everything worse, like turning the Great Wall into a dragon. That doesn't help with the tagging problem. There's no Great Wall anymore. Now the Mongols can invade. And the Australians, when they get turned back, they try to do a Bowser Kid barbecue. So, saves the day. Everyone's happy. Go Mario. So, we're going to give Super Mario Brothers 3 a nice post rating of lasagnette because it just had less layers than the Super Mario Brothers Super Show because it was just less of the same, but less layers.
So the 7th piece of Mario media we have to talk about is also a PSA, but it's good this time. It's the Lou Albano PSAs, where Lou Albano, dressed as Mario, tells you not to steal. He tells you to lock your doors and windows. And he also tells you knives are sharp and dangerous. And he's doing this while a happy-go-lucky flute just plays in the background. These PSAs were released between 1989 and 1991 as part of a series called Let's Talk, where various cartoon characters and famous actors delivered PSAs to reach kids in a way that us regular people never could.
We're not regular people. We're doing a panel at an anime convention.
True. Well, okay, some of these PSAs are like oddly specific. One of them features him urging kids to go get fingerprinted at the local police station.
Fucking narc.
Get 'em young, get 'em young.
This is some Paw Patrol shit.
And then in another one, he's like telling them, oh, if you're at a crime scene, call 911, tell them everything, it's fine. Yeah, these
Snitches get stitches, yeah.
So these PSAs, they also deserve a pasta rating. And the pasta rating I have chosen is alphabet pasta because they're educational.
Yeah. Now, something that's not educational, which is the Super Mario World cartoon. No, don't. So, No, it's not. I have some serious issues with this cartoon. Like, they really lean into Yoshi a bit too much, to the point where the Mushroom Kingdom, instead of being populated by toads, mushroom people, it's just populated by cavemen. And despite that, Peach still has a tiara and a nice dress. And Mario's teaching these people how to make fire and the wheel. And, like, how does she look like this in a society that hasn't even reached the tool age yet? I don't get what's going on. It just feels kind of gross that Mario's doing a whole white savior thing to these cavemen. And then as soon as the 3rd episode, when Bowser got eliminated because his blackberry lavender lemon bars lacked the pizzazz Paul Hollywood required, I was out. So its pasta rating is going to be a vermicelli because it sounds like it might be a slur. And this show is messed up. Yeah, I'm not about it.
All right. So next up, this one came out in '93. And were you disappointed in Chris Pratt playing Mario in the new movie?
Yes.
Well, then let's see how Bob Hopkins did back in
Hell yeah.
93.
Let's go.
My boy! Because yes, we're going to talk about the old Super Mario Brothers movie, the live-action one.
It took us 50 minutes to get people invested.
Yeah. So, as you know, the only similarities this has with the Mario universe is that they're both canonically plumbers and his name is Mario. And that he wears red. That's it. This movie's just terrible. We have a random dude named Toad who's clearly on drugs. He gets de-evolved into a Goomba, and that is their idea of a Goomba. King Toadstool is an actual fungal infestation that is trying to poison Bowser out. And they use rocket boots to fly around. I don't remember that from any of the games.
We'll get him soon, don't worry.
The first half of the movie is just Mario being an angry Italian in Brooklyn. and the second half is just tips for ICE on how to deport Italians. So, I mean, the whole movie was just pretty questionable. Though, instead of Peach, they had Princess Daisy as, like, one of the lead characters, which is fine. Luigi's really into her, which is, I mean, that's canon. That's fine. Mario even tries to set them up. That's great. But you know who Mario's girlfriend is in the movie? Her name's Daniela, not Peach. Come on, guys. What are you doing? Did nobody know anything about Mario when you were making this movie? Also, they named them Mario, and Luigi Mario. That is their last names. Why? Fire everyone, please.
Andrew, I think you're misunderstanding what makes this movie great. This is one of the
Probably,
greatest
but-
movies of all time, and I'm going to tell you why. I mean, first of all, it takes place in Dino-Hatton, which is basically Manhattan if people knew what crosswalks were and used them. And either way, say what you want, this is an incredibly cool location. It's 1,000 times better than any bland Mario location. Second of all, this movie introduces the best Mario villain. That's right, Anthony Scapelli. And Scapelli owns Scapelli's Construction, which rivals Mario's Plumbing. He's like a ruthless businessman and a worthy adversary for Mario. Unfortunately, he kind of gets chimped at the end of the movie. So it's not like that's probably the only reason he's not a mainstay in the Mario franchise. This movie is the only depiction of Yoshi where Yoshi doesn't commit tax fraud, and that's because this Yoshi doesn't get taxes.
No, he
It's the
doesn't get paid.
Doesn't get paid, no taxes. So that's a bonus. There's also a really cool scene where Luigi convinces a bunch of Goombas to start like dancing in an elevator. It's like just cute, and overall, it's a really great scene. And there's a point in the film Mario and Luigi jump on fungus and it trampolines them. And it just inspired the trampoline time minigame. And I was already in the air whether or not to trust Bob-Ombs. But look, they actually have product placement now. They're Reeboks. So, now I know not to trust them. And finally, Mario, he does Slider, but he doesn't do Slider alone. He's rescuing women in this one. So he's doing sliders, but what if you could share?
Also, I would like to note, just take a look at Luigi's belt. That's right.
Let's go.
In 1993, Luigi said gay rights. Let's fucking go.
And one other thing we have to note is that the way that this movie projects the dinosaur world is a way less offensive representation than Super Mario World.
Yeah.
Definitely.
No,
Give that to me.
Andrew.
I started the section. I get to give it the
Yeah,
pasta rating.
Andrew pasta rates it.
So I'm going to give this a pasta rating of a cheese pizza.
What?
Because just like this movie has as much in common as Mario as pizza does with pasta, they're just both vaguely Italian. That's as much as I'm going to give you.
Boo. No, don't fucking clap. So, after the 1993 movie that I think we can all unanimously agree was the perfect video game adaptation, Mario Media was solved. And you would think it would be, 30 years until we got another Mario adaptation? You're wrong. In 1995, Mario teamed up with my second favorite Nintendo franchise. That's right, Kirby. Where we got... except it's just 20 minutes of Kirby and Mario teaching us kanji. yeah, it is. Oh, I didn't put it what it was. Whatever. It's Kirby Masterpiece Theater. And yeah, it is 20 minutes of Kirby teaching us kanji. And I dropped out of my Japanese class, so I have no idea what's going on. And I would much rather watch Kirby right back at you. But this panel was too long, so I didn't put that review in there. So we are going to give it the Stella pasta because it just looks like little stars. No.
That's right. We're going to talk about the latest Mario movie. The animated one by the Minions guys. Sure, Mario didn't sound quite right, but we're going to move past that because I think it was great. I mean, it was really grounded. We got to see Mario. He's got a big family. They're all Italian in Brooklyn. He's got a moderately successful business, and he hates mushrooms. What's more Mario than hating mushrooms? And then they did the great idea of just put a warp pipe under Brooklyn. Yeah, that's way better than just like a magic like painting wall that takes you to the dinosaur world. See, much better under a dig site in Brooklyn. It's great. And then we got all these fantastic locations like the colorful Magic Kingdom, the neighboring Donkey Kong Kingdom, their brutal gladiator arena. And then Rainbow Road. It's all so great. I just loved it, It was just such a good movie.
You can be wrong. It's fine. So they did bring Charles Martinet into it, which I was excited. I was like, oh, he'll voice Mario. No. They wouldn't do that. They would have him voice Mario's abusive father? Why are you doing this to one of the most beloved voice actors of our time? But, not to be content with having them voice someone who bullies Mario, they also have him voice a guy who assures Chris Pratt he's doing a great job. And that is not, don't do that. Chris Pratt steals his job, and his role is to tell Chris Pratt, good job stealing my job. It's messed up. It's gross. But there's still something worse, and that is, of course, the music. Now, when they use the music from the video games, it's fine. The thing is, they don't really stick to it, and instead decided to take the Cruella route and just drop all of their money onto random, needle drops. It opens with Battle Without Honor or Humanity, the theme song from Kill Bill. Then, within 5 minutes, we have No Sleep Till Brooklyn, and it's not even the first time Chris Pratt has a scene set to No Sleep Till Brooklyn. Then we get Holding Out for a Hero, but it's played for a training montage instead of a climactic battle scene, and it's not even the Shrek 2 version. And then we get Take On Me, which, okay, come on. The music video for Take On Me is an isekai. So you would think that they would do a good job and play it, I don't know, when Mario's taking the warp pipes to the Mushroom Kingdom. I think that would be a fine needle drop. No, they're just cruising through DK Land as if they have no idea what the song's about. And then we get to Rainbow Road, and instead of playing the timeless classic Rainbow Road theme song, they make their own song for it. You had one job. I don't care if you're doing an orchestral DK rap. You just can't get this right.
Now, the thing that bothered me about this movie was that the Kooplings weren't in it. They carried the adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3. They have so much history, and it needs to be respected. We had such a great group. There was this doesn't make any sense. Okay, sorry. We had Cheatsy, the schemer. We had Bully, the gangster. We had Big Mouth, the big mouth. We had Cootie Pie, the spoiled brat. We had Kooky, the genius scientist. And we had Hip and Hop, who were basically just the same character with no personality. So these kiddos, they appear in mainline games and spin-offs. They could have had a cameo or some kind of small part. I don't like this.
Am I the only one who found them styling Donkey Kong Country after indigenous civilizations kind of weird? Am I the only one who thought that was kind of gross? And yikes, if I'm being honest. Also, they buy the rights to Mr. Blue Sky and use it for just 20 seconds at the end of the movie. If you're gonna buy the rights to an overdone and overrated song, at least play it. Let me. I don't get to do it.
He opened it.
And so this movie's pasta rating is going to be Angel Hair. It's nice on their own, but there's absolutely no substance.
All right, so now we're coming to the end of the panel. So I think in the spirit of keeping things positive, I want you guys to say something nice about the new Mario movie. Because I know you guys didn't like it, but I did, so you should say something nice.
Fine.
Okay.
You can go first.
All right.
I need a minute.
I know what I liked the most, and that was the commercial. Song choice, it was nostalgia bait, but it was effective. This visual representation of what they were doing, that was pretty cute. The shocked YouTube face reaction image, great. The fact that you could call this number and be greeted by Luigi's actor, also great.
I like how it accurately portrayed blue shells by having them not go for first place due to Nintendo latency. I like that a lot.
My favorite part was, of course, when Mario tried to fly a bullet bill into the real world to attempt his own 9/11. Because apparently in the Mushroom Kingdom, you can just do whatever you want. And, I mean, it wasn't on my bingo card. So, Andrew, since we said something nice about the animated movie, I think it's only fair that you also add this panel on a positive note and say something nice about the live-action film.
Yeah, anyone, thanks for coming to the panel. We really appreciate it. We hope you had fun, because clearly we did too. If you enjoyed any of this, you should come check out our other panels tonight if you happen to be here that late. We kind of doubt you will, because why would you be here at 10:30 at night? But if you
Or 1 a.m.
If you are, you should come hang out with us and have fun. But thanks for coming. Have a great con.